Jon Jones wasn't himself tonight.
Really? You thought so? Because a lot of people thought that Joe Rogan said it was his best performance.
Oh, well, okay.
Are you not a Joe Rogan fan?
I'm a fighter. I've fought all my life. You can listen to him, and maybe he knows more than me. I don't know.
I actually had a conversation with Steven Seagal before the fights tonight. I caught up with him. He said he was planning to go into your locker room and have a few words with you. I'm curious if he said anything to you, what that was.
Yeah, he called me a few days before the fight and just told me that he saw a lot in my skill set and he thought that he could help. And he was wondering if he could come and talk to me backstage before the fight and just kind of give me some words of encouragement.
Jones ended up denying Seagal access to his locker room, which caused Seagal to turn on him.
Do you think he's going to have the belt for a long time?
I think he's going to get beat very soon. I think he'll get beat repeatedly within the next year.
Seagal even tried to make that happen by offering to train Cormier.
I've heard stories that Jon Jones was very disrespectful to the master at some point. Yeah. So he's willing to help me.
This is his payback.
I think it is. And he said that he's got some stuff he wants to show me that he believes will work against Jon Jones. So my mom loves him. He's going to come and meet my parents. And then we're going to go and train a little bit. I'm all for it. Let's get together.
Daniel's asked me to show him a couple of things that are unusual. Please turn that off.
Showed me a couple moves, man. It was actually a pretty cool experience, actually.
And you've used them in fights?
I've used them on my friends.
You know very well what could happen if he does one of those right. If he does one of those right, the game is over, the fight is over. You know that.
I know it's always nice to be a class act after a victory, but I really hope he's somewhere crying, and I'm sure he is.
This is not going to ruin me, one way or the other. I'm going to stand across the cage from that man again, and I'll believe just as I did tonight, and I'll take the fight to him again, I guess.
So I don't feel sorry for him. This is combat. In order to hang out in the desert, you got to be tough. The animals that live in the desert are tough. The plants that survive in the desert are tough.
If I lost to that dude, I would just kind of go in like a depression. Like I literally would just close the blinds and like almost mourn the loss. Like I didn't want to feel better.
After the fight with DC, I just kind of felt on top of the world. I just beat the undefeated fighter that everyone thought would be my match.
I was shocked, Brian, when I first heard the news.
UFC light heavyweight champ Jon Jones has tested positive for traces of cocaine.
It's crazy with the cocaine thing. Ariel, look you dead in your eyes. I don't like coke. I'm not a coke guy. I tried cocaine one night, and the athletic commission's there the next day. It was just like, how in the world did this just go down? How did it happen this way?
Jon Jones tested positive for cocaine, yet you see other fighters getting in big trouble for testing positive for marijuana. That is the difference between out of competition and in competition. Jon Jones tested positive for cocaine out of competition.
Jones has admitted himself into a drug treatment center.
Jones's mother, Camille, admitted Monday that her son left the rehab facility after just one night.
I went to a party. A lot of heavy drinking going on. So I go to bed and I wake up. It's definitely still really tired. I remember being at a red light, had my music going, texting on my cell phone. I went through a light. It was like a green light that said that I could turn left, but you're supposed to yield. A person came through and I just assumed it was my green light to go, obviously being not completely clear-headed, and I ended up running into a car.
New trouble this morning for a mixed martial arts champion,
Jon Jones.
Action 7 News reporter Erin Hill spoke to the pregnant woman who was in the car Jones is accused of hitting.
I kind of freaked out, and I was just more upset, that he couldn't at least stayed and at least said, I'm sorry or something.
Why didn't you look at the other car?
Because it all happened so fast. I know I smelled like alcohol, and I just felt like if the police came, it would be a bad situation for me.
Inside the SUV, police say they found a pipe with marijuana, and that's not all.
I'm sitting here thinking, all right, I need to go. I need to get away from this.
That is the worst case scenario, a pregnant woman.
Oh, yeah, it makes me look like a monster.
When I heard about what happened with John with the accident, the lady, and I immediately thought,
is this real?
Are you disappointed in yourself with a lot of this stuff?
Yeah, I am. I totally am. I totally am, yeah.
You know, you're one of the chosen few that get to carry and be a light and be a torch for people to follow. How can you be so openly willing to sacrifice that?
Girl made almost $1 million off the situation. I'm sure her life's been changed forever.
Right after the accident, Jon hides in a hotel room for a day.
And in that room, I found out that I lost my endorsements. I found out that I lost my belt, I lost my job. I sat there and I cried for the whole day, man. I really thought that my career was over.
Now he will face felony charges if and when police do find him.
If Jon Jones wanted to reach out to us, it would not be a difficult thing for him to do.
But if convicted, Jones could face up to 3 years in prison, Amy.
Here to accept full responsibility for what happened, for my actions. And I'm just really hoping that you guys can give me an opportunity to redeem myself.
One last point, Your Honor, is with respect to the felony conviction is Mr. Jones does a lot of work with kids. This is an opportunity for you to order some time for him to spend with kids and to learn from his mistake. Anti-war champion, well, I represent the UFC. Right. And you're going to get help. You worked hard to get there. Yes, sir. And then you do something stupid. And you didn't wake up. I think you need to talk. I'm going to grant the conditional discharge.
As part of the deal, Jones must make 72 appearances around Albuquerque
To talk to kids about the decisions that cost him this trouble.
And while Jon is suspended, DC fights for his belt.
That's not the same guy, but it was always about the belt. You know, it always has been about the belt.
I went through a real self-destructive state right after the car accident, and then
How so?
I just started to party more. I was really depressed. Yeah, the belt had been stripped from me, and I felt as if I was a big waste of talent.
So Cormier wins the belt. Rogan asks him a question. He ignores it and just says,
Jon Jones, get you together. I'm waiting for you.
He messed up. He really messed up there. Because I took his advice. I got my shit together.